All right, we're on to Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 120. Today is the last in the review section, review number 3. And each of these sections, this is the 10th one, and there's been 2 lessons per section. Today is lesson 109, I rest in God, and lesson 110, I am as God created me. So let's read this. So for morning and evening review, lesson 109, I rest in God. I rest in God today and let him work in me and through me while I rest in him in quiet and in perfect certainty. Rhymes. Okay, number 2 is lesson 110, I am as God created me. I am God's son. Today I lay aside all sick illusions of myself and let my Father tell me who I really am. On the hour, you say, I rest in God. And on the half hour, I am as God created me. So each hour, the beginning of the hour, I rest in God. On the half hour, I am as God created me. So we're going to read through it again a little slower. We'll talk about it a little bit and see what we can find. So I rest in God. I rest in God today and let him work in me and through me while I rest in him in quiet and in perfect certainty. I let him work in me and through me. So I let God, what does it mean to let God work in me? And what's the difference between in me and through me? I think it means that you pay attention to the voice of God, which is the Holy Spirit within yourself. And then you let the Holy Spirit be expressed through you, right? So that's what it means here, to let God work through you and in you and through you. I rest in him in quiet and perfect certainty. So you remain in a place of certitude. Certitude means that you do not doubt, that you trust. Today we have the phrase which many people are using, trust the process. This is a process, and this is there is quite a bit of trust involved, especially when you look at the mountain that you have to climb. there is quite a bit of trust, and there's trust in the idea, because I think there's definitely a part of us which would be the ego, if you believe what this is saying, right? You might not believe, but the ego is telling you, no, you can't trust, you can't let go, because if you let go, you'll be annihilated, you'll be punished, you will be lost, right? You can't let go of the ego. You can't let go of your individual sense of limited selfhood, because you don't know what's beyond that. It's kind of like being asked to jump off a cliff and being told that you will fly if you jump off the cliff. But you take all of this that's why it's a process. You take it step by step. Along the way, you grow in certainty. You grow in that certitude, until you get to that place of perfect certainty. And then you might not have it yet, right? And that's why this lesson is kind of, you're growing into the lessons. It might not be that you have perfect certainty, but you're trusting, you're resting in God, going towards that. All right. Number 2, I am as God created me. Now remember that we saw this was twice. This has been there twice already. This I am as God created me. 2 of the lessons have had this. I am God's son. Today I lay aside all sick illusions of myself and let my Father tell me who I really am. all sick illusions. So I let go of all distorted ideas about myself, right? And I accept God's answer, which is my true self. I let God, through the Holy Spirit, which would be, you could say the Holy Spirit is the truth in your heart. You remember that truth in your heart. You remember your true self, and you let go of anything that is not that. And we all know what that is, right? We all know our heart of hearts. We may not be in touch with it, but we know it's there, and we let it get covered over by a lot of other things. But it's that part of ourself that sometimes cries. Sometimes just we have this armor that we wear, and there's always chinks in the armor, right? And sometimes things get through, and then we have some kind of a breakdown. We get more, and that at that point is when we get more in touch with our true self. Let's read what Jesus said about this. I am as God created me. This is also, I am spirit. I am one self, united with my Creator. So lesson 94, I am as God created me. Let's compare what Jesus said there. I will remain forever as I was, created by the changeless like himself. And I am one with him and he with me. So this is emphasizing that God is changeless and I am changeless too. My true self is changeless. We are one, right? We are one self. We are one together. There's no separation, right? I was created by the changeless like himself. So this is also emphasizing that I was created by God. I did not create God. God created me, myself. But myself is one with God. Myself is totally like God. And ultimately, I think the point is that even though God created me, ultimately there is no separation. There is no creator and created in reality. Now that's something that we have to talk about, because many people would say, well, that's not what this is saying. This is saying that God created us. We did not create God. But I think, on careful reading of the Course and reading it in context, you can see that Jesus seems to be pointing to a reality where all is one and there is no creator or created. That's dualistic. That's still dualistic. So this says, I am one with him and he with me. But it also says that I was created by the changeless, right? I am as God created me. But that language is dualistic for us who think that we're here. And for us who think that we're here, that language could be helpful because we have this authority problem where we think that we created ourselves. God is not in the picture. So this is reminding us, no, God created us. God created us like himself. And what is God? God is love. God is happiness. God is peace. God is joy. So if I'm in misery, if I'm in depression, if I'm in suffering, if I'm in anything negative or dark, I have denied my reality. And I've accepted an alternative, a substitute reality. So today's lesson, today's review says, I am God's son. Today I lay aside all sick illusions of myself and let my Father tell me who I really am. So now this seems to be emphasizing that I lay aside everything that is not of the truth of what I am, right? I lay aside all pain and suffering, and I just let Spirit come through and show me what I really am, the truth about what I really am. All right, I rest in God. I am as God created me. I rest in God. I am as God created me. End of story. You don't have to keep on with the sad story unless you want to, right? That's a choice. Suffering is optional, right? Suffering is optional. All right, lesson 121 is next. Now we're going to get back into the lessons once again. Not doing the review anymore. We'll just get back into it. Thank you so much for listening. Hope this was helpful for you. I'm going to try to get to some other videos today. I think I'm going to do a video right now about a great song by the rock band, the progressive rock band. Yes, I've seen All Good People. It's really a brilliant song, and you'll see why I'm bringing it in, or why I'm talking about it, if you watch the video. So see you there maybe. Thanks.